Would you go with 8 strangers to an island only accessible by boat? Well, that's exactly what my friend Sarah and I convinced a group of random gals from the internet to do. The sunset on the way to the island should have been the first sign of how magical this weekend was going to be. Sea kayaking has been on my bucket list forever. I'm always looking for new ways to enjoy the outdoors, and there's something about trying a new activity that makes my brain so happy. So Sarah and I started sharing this idea online, an all-women sea kayak adventure, and people were actually interested. We ended up partnering with an amazing guide service in the San Juan Islands, shout out to Outdoor Odysseys, to make this happen. After months of planning, the day finally came. We were dragging our kayaks off the trailer, packing gear, and before we knew it, paddling across open water towards our first island. That first stretch was a mix of excitement and a little bit of chaos. Figuring out how to steer, finding our rhythm, and realizing we'd be living out of these boats for the next few days. But as soon as we pulled up to our first island for lunch, all the nerves melted away. There's something so special about meeting new people who already feel so familiar. You can thank social media for that. Even though it gets a bad rap, it's also how adventures like this happen. It connects us over the things that we love the most. After lunch and a few more miles of paddling, we arrived at our home for the next 3 days, Jones Island. That feeling of summertime peace washed over everyone. With incredible guides leading the way, all we had to do was set up camp and breathe. For me, that first night hit hard. I realized how much I'd been running all summer, starting a new job, prepping for a big Europe trip, juggling a million things, and I hadn't really stopped to appreciate any of it. But there I was, staring at the ocean at sunset, watching seals pop their heads out of the water, and giggling with women that I'd just met. That simple, childlike joy you get from adventuring, that's what I'd been missing. And then, that night came one of the coolest experiences of my life, probably. Kayaking at night under the stars, surrounded by bioluminescence. It felt like old magic, like the Salish Sea itself was glowing just for us, and in that moment I forgot about all the long nights of planning, emails I ignored to make this trip happen, and I just felt grateful. So deeply grateful that we get to go on adventures like this. Mornings at camp were some of my favorite things ever, watching the sunrise over the sea, sipping hot coffee, and eating incredible breakfasts. It really just made time feel like it was going slower, which we all know how rare that feeling is. By day 2, it didn't even feel like we were strangers anymore. Once you realize there's no one that is actually a stranger after a few minutes of conversation, life becomes a lot more fun. That day though, we had one big mission, to find ice cream. So we paddled to another island, screaming 2000 hits and making foghorn sounds out of kelp, and it was just like such a fun little adventure.
How do you feel about your ice cream?
So good. It hits the spot.
What'd you get?
Cookies and coffee and blueberry.
Ooh.
Our last night on Jones Island was the perfect way to end it there. After dinner, we grabbed our paddles and did something that I had personally been dreaming of forever, a sunset paddle. The sun dipped low and light glittered on the water, and we cracked open a cold drink, talking about the Canadian mountains and adventures that we had planned for the future. It felt like a movie, a perfect quiet ending. We'd only known each other for 3 days for some of us, but we'd shared so much. Stories about childhood, pets, dreams, and adventures. One woman who was on a quest to step foot on every island in the San Juans. These stories are what make moments like this last forever. On our final morning, we packed up camp and paddled back to the launch site. Tired, happy, and singing Taylor Swift, Goth Babe, and Noah Kahan over the waves and rain as it was typical PNW moody gray. And all I could think was, I would 100% do this again. Would you go on an adventure like this with strangers? Because sometimes those are the trips that change everything.